Hey Capricorn, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. We're going to be getting love messages today, starting with Oracle. We're going to take 2 cards, set them aside for the very end, and those are meant to be the big messages that kind of tower over the whole reading and give us massive perspective. I never use that word, but that's applicable. All right, here's our second one. You guys, if you've never been to my channel before, welcome. Thank you so much for giving it a chance. And I'm going to try to be as straightforward and helpful as possible. That being said, if this doesn't resonate, you don't have to take it. But I do encourage you to check out your rising or your moon, because for some, that resonates more. All right? And please hit the like button. It helps my channel grow. If you ever want to help anybody's channel, just hitting that like button is so huge. All right, you guys, love for Capricorns. What do Capricorns need to know? Only picking the cards that fly out on their own. If they fly in reverse, that's how we read them. What does Capricorn need to know? If you'd like for me to pray for you, send you my good energy, and I encourage everybody else to do this for each other. Say hi in the comments section, or leave an emoji even, just something that I can focus on. And that's my personal spiritual practice. Only good vibes here. It's a safe place for everybody. We have a lot of reversals, you guys. The only card we got upright and 4 cards is the Page of Swords. My nose is itching. Huh. Let me unpack this for a second. This is interesting. Clarity and Page of Cups are all flying out in reverse. I feel like you might be done. This is talking to the Capricorns who might be working in their life with somebody who's immature. What's this? 7 of Swords. But I feel like you're coming through with resilience. I think you recognize that this is somebody who's weaker than yourself. For a few of you, I don't feel like this is the case, but I must say that roles can be reversed. For a few of you, it's yourselves. You feel like you're weaker than normal, that you may be immature, but I feel like that's not really the case. I feel like this is somebody else. This could be a mother for some of you guys, and it is a love reading. It doesn't have to be a romantic reading, but I must say that because there is the Empress involved. Either way, this person is kind of so wrapped up in their own emotions that they can be very unsupportive to yours. And it's almost like it feels like there's almost like a blockage happened when they're young. Like maybe they got neglected. Maybe they didn't get enough support for their needs. And so they became almost narcissistic, or just, in this case, they're triggered. Maybe they're not like this permanently, but it feels so deep. It feels almost like an underdeveloped child in them. And for some of you guys, this is literally a child. But either way, it's childish. And there's something about this tarot reading. It's talking about maybe being surprised about how they've reacted to something, or and so your response is strength, is tenacity. There is this beautiful connection here that somebody is fighting for, but something needs, in a very practical sense, something needs more attention. And inside this, rebalancing, whether it's even schedules or things that are very life, human, materialistic even, like it could be a balance of schedules, balance of work and play, but there's hope and optimism here. There's a divine connection that you have with this individual, despite how emotionally mature they're being. What is this Page of Swords? Beautiful. Things will work out. So you get the Justice card. This is the rebalancing the scales. This is somebody you have a past with, somebody you have history with. And this is a time where opening up with fresh ideas trying to look at things with another perspective, a youthful perspective. One could say that might feel naive in this situation, but if you can open your mind to new, fresh ways of communicating within that context, you have hope and justice. This is basically, just as this card suggests, this is cutting your losses and being willing to move on. So this feels very much like that's where there's going to be the justice. That's where there's going to be peace, is just being like, sweet baby, I know that you're just kind of wired this way. And recognizing that there's a bigger picture here, and that what can be offensive is just kind of an emotional wound for them. And it's coming out when we're hurting inside, when we're emotional or unstable inside, we can really hurt those that we love without always intending to do so. I mean, I know that some of you guys are laughing who are still working with me here on this video, because it definitely seems like they intend it sometimes. But sometimes our insides, when they're looking ugly, it just starts showing up on our outsides. You don't need in this tarot reading, it's suggesting that cutting your losses and moving on doesn't necessarily mean anything, except you don't have to wait around for them to agree with you. With the Three of Pentacles upside down. You don't need for them to validate you. You don't need for them to confirm your feelings. You can simply make that decision to move on. Clarity on advice for Capricorns. We have, in a way, this has been a long time in coming, but you've needed this perspective. And it's almost like with a hanged man, there's a sense of staving off staving. I don't know why I'm using the word staving, like pushing off the inevitable. So maybe it was a long time in coming, but yeah, now it's time for action. There is this sense of without this action, this is where it gets interesting. It could be that this was a catalyst, an event that happened, that suddenly happened, that you just had no control over. And so that is the catalyst for this new fire in your pants to make some change, to passionately jump into action. And the other scenario is that it's telling you, hey, it's eventually going to happen without action. It kind of like that teapot, you put it on a burner, it's going to eventually whistle, right? So this action is key. So what is this action? It has something to do with the fork in the road, where you get perspective. What have you been building so far? What have you put so much time and effort building? Is that into you, developing you and your social skills and your coping skills and your emotional discipline? Then like, this is the moment where you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You make it all count. Is this with the relationship itself? This is a huge wake-up moment, and it's about communication. It's about seeing a vision for the future, and with that vision in mind, moving forward with straight up, very honest communication, swift communication. This is like the big wake-up call. And this changes everything. The Judgment card is like, there's no going back. This is a leveling up. It's an ascension. So I hope that is helpful. Let's actually look at our oracle cards that I turned over earlier. This is the message. Stay grounded and welcome the new knowledge and perspective coming to you. The next message is choice. And I want to read a tiny bit about that. Not very much, just a sentence or two to clarify. Be still. Listen to the guidance of your internal conscience And in the words of William Shakespeare, to thine own self be true. The presence of this card suggests peace is more likely to prevail if choices made are born of love and respect. What have you thrown yourself into? Make it count, right? Discrimination, intuition, and common sense play a vital role in deciphering needs from whims and wishes. They are worlds apart, so be sure to distinguish what is necessary before taking decisive action. All right, you guys, I'm sending you off with love and light. Please hit that like button. Consider subscribing. Talk to you next week.